I have a problem with painting. I'm not good at fine detail work. It's very hard for me to do solid lines. So I've never painted miniature before. I may as well try that. That might help me learn some stuff. So I bought a miniature. Well, I bought two actually. And figured I'd give it a shot. These guys are real tiny. This is going to be a big pain to do, but I guess that's sort of the point. I don't know anything about tabletop gaming. Don't know anything about miniature painting, really. These are Dungeons and Dragons ones. Never played Dungeons and Dragons. All I know about Dungeons and Dragons is I got some of the LJN figures. The reason I picked these is $5. Two guys, pretty good. And I have a reputation for He-Man stuff, so obviously gotta get a Barbarian. I think this is meant to be the same guy twice, but this one looks like he has mutton chops and this one doesn't. So I guess I'll paint him like different guys. I don't really know any miniature painting tricks. I just have some basic painting knowledge I don't get to use very often. All I know is I'm going to use some blue tack to like mount them to bottom of cups. I've heard that works pretty well for holding them. So I'll get them out, and it says they're primed or out of the box and ready to be painted. So I don't really believe that. I see they got some flash there I got to clean up. I guess we'll give it a crack and see if the priming actually works. Yeah, so we got this area right here, some flash sticking up off his leg. So I'm going to just try to sand that off with some small files I have. Clean, and there's a mold line running down here. I'm probably just going to try to grind off like that. Okay, so I ended up using a small Dremel bit I have to sand them off. They actually are primed. There's a different color plastic underneath. I managed to break through to that in a couple spots. They're not perfect, but I think they're good enough for the size they are. I don't want to get too crazy and potentially damage detailing work on them, so I didn't want to like hyper sand them. Like there's actually a spot here on the elbow I should probably got a bit better, but I think they'll work. I don't want to go nuts on them, potentially damaging them is not worth it. Alright, I got the first base coat on the skin tones done. I might have gone a tad darker and purple on this one for what I had in mind, but it's not bad. I'll see how it works. I'm just gonna give this guy pants, but I decided against it. It was a bit of a pain to get in some of the areas. It's very different than what I'm used to, since I do custom action figure parts. I do each part individually. So, probably dry enough, I'll hit him with another coat of this, I think, and then I guess I will mess around with skin shading before I go on to other pieces, since the majority we got going on these guys is skin tones. I might as well see what I'm liking on those. I got one layer of like a highlight on them now. I'm not quite sure if I did it right, but I think I did okay. I think that's all I need for this layer. I'll probably hit them with a slightly higher lighting area here. Maybe then clean up a little bit of dark that's still wet, and move on to other stuff. Okay, I put another 2 layers of highlights on here. I think I'm supposed to put a wash on here after this. I don't know if I'm meant to paint everything else first, then put the wash on. I think I am. So I think I'm going to paint other things first. But I think that looks decent. Okay, I base coated every color. Things are looking decent. Now I have to do shading work on every color, but I think they're looking okay. Oh, I did forget to paint the hairbands. I will do that. Okay, I think they're pretty much done. I'm actually pretty proud of how these came out. Took me a while, but I think they came out pretty nice. I'm tempted to try a wash, though. I don't know a ton about washes. I just have some vague knowledge of them. So, I know you mix water with paint, a large amount of water. We'll see if I ruin them. I'll go make a wash and we'll see how it goes. Alright, took about 6 hours total. Not complete work time. Some on and off, obviously. But I think they came out okay. I'd say they're done. The wash I'm not super pleased with. I really didn't know what I was doing there. I had some vague ideas how they worked. I did paint their eyes and teeth, and I think the wash sort of hid that a bit. Not that they ever had pupils, because I really don't think I can get that in there to look decent. But I think it still came out okay. This one I think is better of the two. This one, the wash kind of didn't work on. It just makes them look muddy. But that's not exactly the most inaccurate for a barbarian, so I'm not too upset with it. It was pretty fun. I might do it again. It took me a while to figure it out, but I've never really worked at this scale before. But I liked blending the colors. It was really neat to do like the skin tone work. I don't get to do that very much. So I'd say they're pretty good.